Pins versus weights. Which one's going to win? Which one's easier to work with? A couple of pieces of scrap fabric here and the bodice to a simplicity pattern. I'm going to cut it out on one layer, but I'm going to pin this first. And I want you to see what happens when I pin it. The fabric behaves okay. The pins take a while to put in correctly. You want to make sure that in this case it would be on the fold. But you want to make sure that you get the pins in all the corners and that they don't hang out over the edge because you don't want to cut through the pins. Not too bad. And if we went ahead and cut this, it's okay. I mean, that's fine. The pins, one of the things the pins can do is they can stick into the fabric, especially if you don't have the right kind of pins. These are glass head pins. These are the only pins that you want to sew with. They're little glass head pins, right? But they can stick into the fabric, the pattern, and make the pattern crumply. And the pattern doesn't move around, so they do their job. But they do take a while, and then you have to go back and take all of the pins out again, which can be a problem. All right, so now we're going to look at weights. These are super cheap washers. They are 3/4 of an inch flat washers. I bought them in a box of 25 at my big box store. Don't worry, there'll be links to the pins and the washers in the bottom of the video. I'm going to lay my pattern back down again, and I'm going to throw my washers on there. Look at how fast that is, and look at how flat my pattern is. Because of the extra weight, I don't have the kind of billowing thing going on that I had with the pins. The other thing is I can easily move this if I decide that it's a little off. I can easily move this, but you want your pattern as flat as possible. And then I can just go ahead and cut, and the weights keep everything exactly where they're supposed to be. Oh, look at that, a big clunk of fabric there. And when I'm done, I just pick the weights up, and it's super, super easy. But you can move these around. You don't have to deal with putting holes, especially if you have like a silky fabric that's a little temperamental with pins, and you don't want those pins to be poking a hole in your fabric or poking a hole in your finger. You don't want to bleed all over your fabric. Weights are the way to go almost 99% of the time. Now, if you don't have weights, I use lots of things. I use scissors, rulers, my phone, whatever's handy to keep this fabric flat on the table on the pattern on top of it. Now, you want to keep your pattern flat. I iron my pattern pieces and my fabric before I cut them out for a couple of reasons. If the pattern piece has a wrinkle in it and it's not ironed out, this section of my pattern is going to be shorter than it's supposed to be. Correct? Now, conversely, if the fabric has a wrinkle in it and I cut it out, the pattern piece is going to be bigger than I want it to be because I'm going to cut through that wrinkle, and then the fabric is going to stretch. So part of getting a really good fit is making sure that your fabric is flat, your pattern is flat. Use weights. Give them a try.